This is the Panasonic Lumix 30mm F2.8, a spherical, I'm trying to read it in the monitor, Mega OIS, blah, 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 macro lens. Here's our lens in blue bubble wrap. And there we are. Let's test this thing out. Roll the intro. I think this thing is about just over 300 bucks. That's not expensive for a lens. It works with my GH5, so I'm gonna test it out on my GH5, which I have right over here. So this is a 1-to-1 macro lens. What does 1-to-1 mean? It's kind of confusing, but what it means is you're gonna shoot something at 100% its actual size relative to the size of your camera chip. That means, just to make things easier, let's say our camera chip was a 1-inch square and you filmed a 1-inch square. Well, the 1-inch square that you filmed should fit perfectly on the 1-inch chip. In this case, I want to film this silver 50-cent piece, this Kennedy 50-cent piece, which I believe is bigger than a micro 4/3 chip, because this coin is actually bigger than the size of the chip in the camera. We should be able to fill the whole frame and then some with this coin. So let's take it for a spin. While we're doing this, I'm going to just kind of talk through what I know about macro photography, which is not much, so it's a bit of an exploration for the both of us. Look at that. All right, I need to get this chip a lot closer to the camera, or get the camera a lot closer to the chip, and I'm gonna need a lot of light. This is gonna be interesting to figure out. So let's see, if I go like this, that works. See, look at that. We get the shadow of the camera over the coin though. That's kind of an issue with macro photography. I am shooting in 4K at 400 megabits, and I am just going to roll a little bit of footage. But I do like that I can get, and like I was saying, I can get so close to this coin, and you can see the focus peaking going on right there, so I'm in focus. I can get so close to this coin that it's bigger than the actual chip, right? All right, so the faster I move, the better. Unfortunately, shooting in 4K, I can't go in slow motion, and I think slow motion is gonna help me out here, so we're gonna switch our mode to HD. I'm just gonna do HD 8-bit, regular HD 8-bit for right now. Variable frame rate's on. Let's set it. Let's crank it all the way up to 180. So as fast as this camera can go. Gets a lot darker. Let's just adjust our light here so we can get more light on the coin. Also, let's go into our picture profiles. We're shooting vlog right now. I think I'm gonna switch to cine gamma. I do like that shine off of it. So let's play that back, see what that looks like. I'm just experimenting here. We're just experimenting together. Let's go back to 4K. I'm gonna shoot in the highest possible format that I can, and we're just gonna do what's called a lock off, where I'm not gonna move it. Now I have a lot more light available to me, which is great. So I'm just gonna quickly check my exposure. Looks like we're in the middle there. That's pretty good. It's so sensitive, the slightest movement. Well, that looks good. That looks really nice. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Maybe we wanted to do like a little roundy round product shot. So I'm gonna bring it closer. I wanna do what's called a raking angle. And in film and television, the more you're at an angle to something, the more you're raking it. All right, I'm gonna practice my move. That looks pretty cool. Oh, I've still been recording this whole time. Because we're at this raking angle and we're on a macro lens, you're so tight. It's like when you bring your finger really close to your eye and you focus on it, I can only get small pieces of it in focus unless I raise the f-stop. Now, if I raise the f-stop, things are gonna get a lot darker. I'm gonna need a lot more light. So there's one thing to know about macro photography is you need a lot of light, like a lot of light. So I might have to change things here. Hold on. I'm gonna have to get rid of my bounce. I'm gonna have to lower this. Sorry that my face is in shade now, but I need the light to light this coin. This really is a different world of lighting. You have to get lights like really up close to your product. So this is when people say product photography or videotaping products, this is what we're getting into right now. Oh my God, I've been recording this whole time. No, I don't know where that is. So it's gonna take me a little bit while to find it, but I have to turn off this zoom to focus thing. Pro tip number 1, for using a macro lens, turn off zoom to focus on the GH5. It is a pain in the butt. All right, here it is, guys. I went into manual focus assist and I turned it off. Oh yeah, that's much better. It could be kind of cool to actually record myself going like this. Boy, I gotta tell you guys, the other thing is it's really unstable. So using this wheel thing, not the best idea I had. In the future, either like motion control if you have the money, or maybe a tripod and using like the app or a remote trigger. Those might be good ideas. What if I wanted to get this whole coin in focus? I'm gonna need to change my f-stop. So there we go. Look, the minute I start stopping up, everything's in focus. But of course our problem is light again. So what are we gonna do? I can take the shutter and I can open up the shutter a little bit. You usually don't wanna do that for video, but I'm gonna go to a 360-degree shutter because I have no choice. I am gonna go to ISO 1600 because I have no choice. And I'm gonna bring this light as close as I possibly can. The angle really matters too, of the light. Well, let's try recording one of these and then we'll try it not in slow motion and see if we can do it better that way. If I go to my key menu and let's switch to, oh, look at that. Now we have light. Now I can lower my ISO, hit record and just let go. Just so we can see a still, see what that looks like. I'll try a slight move here. Good luck to me. Let's get that outer edge in there. If you want to get more stuff in focus, you're going to have to bring the f-stop up to like an f10 or more on this lens. And that is going to require even more light. So light, light, light. All right, guys, well, that's about it for this video. I actually recorded a different ending, but when I started editing this, I learned one or two more things in the editing process that I just wanted to share with you before we completely wrap things up. One thing that's really cool in Adobe Premiere is that you can use the warp stabilizer on a lot of this footage. So I actually found that shooting in 4K and moving this thing really slowly, moving this little wheel thing really slowly, even if I felt like the movements were a little jerky at the time, I was able to smooth it out pretty well and it looked pretty good. And things got even better if I shot in slow motion and then also used the warp stabilizer on it. You could really get rid of those little micro hits. But I gotta tell you, at 4K, like you can zoom in, like the detail is amazing on this lens. So I definitely recommend picking up this lens for your kit. One thing you might also want to pick up is a little remote trigger so you don't have to touch the camera to hit record, or you could try using that Panasonic app that comes with the camera. I haven't really used it too much, so maybe I'll do it in another video, I don't know. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep watching, stay creative, keep creating, be creative. See you later.